Welcome to Chronicles of Yesteryear. I'm your host, Unbound Sage, and today we're going to be talking about Guan Yu, Loyal General. To talk about Guan Yu, we must talk about the period he was active in, right? And for those of you who don't know, he was active in one of the most exciting times in political history, and that would be the Three Kingdoms era of China. And we're going to do a brief recap on the history period. It's very, very interesting. There's a lot going on. We're going to cover just the parts that he is relevant in. There's a lot happening in this period of, I'd say it's about like 70, 80 years. So we'll start from the top. What caused it? There was the Yellow Turban Rebellion. It was people sick of the government. Government was corrupt. Very bad. People rose up, but they were crushed. Absolutely and thoroughly crushed. How they were crushed is very interesting. You see, the government couldn't deal with it alone, so they gave a lot of power to these warlords and said, hey, go crush them. Go deal with the rebellion. And so while they were soundly defeated, it gave a lot of power away from the central government. And during this time, a lot of people started their political and military career. And we're going to bring you here to this picture with Guan Yu in it. Guan Yu's the guy on the right. He is always shown with a red face and a like turquoise or green robe. And these are the boys. I don't know which one's which. One of them is Liu Bei and Guan Yu, and then Zhuan Fei. Liu Bei is actually the more important political figure here, while Guan Yu is a more important cultural figure. Liu Bei was given a province, a small province. And so these guys are really no names at this point, just some guys, and they made an oath to each other. So in real life, these guys did form a coalition. They did form a group. They swore loyalty to Liu Bei. Guan Yu did. And in the famous dramatic retelling, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, there's a famous line that's, although our surnames are different, yet we have come together as brothers. This is a big deal, right? And you'll see as we go through this time period, there is a lot of betrayal, but this powerful alliance they made here over some tea lasts, right? Spoilers, it lasts. But anyway, this is what the map looks like at this point. While the Yellow Turban Rebellion was crushed, Don Zhu, this guy right here, is taking over power of the central government. He has a puppet emperor in. He's not a nasty guy. This is what he looks like. This is a drawing of him. And everyone hates this guy. Me and all my homies hate him. He is cruel, tyrannical, beats his son, like, name it all. Unfortunately for him, his son is Lu Bu. And Lu Bu betrays him and kills Don Juan. There was also this rise of, like, everyone was kind of ganging up on him. No one really liked him. So while Lu Bu betrays him, we have another character on the scene we have to talk about. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people to talk about, but we're just going to cover just the basics here. And we have to talk about Cao Cao. Cao Cao is a political mastermind as well as a military mastermind too. And he's making a play for northern China and he needs friends. But Lu Bu is an awful individual. See Lu Bu here? He backstabs everyone. And in fact, Liu Bei and Lu Bu, Liu Bei being our guy with Guan Yu, have similar names, and they're fighting, not because of that, but it feels like it. And they make alliances that Lu Bu betrays, and they fight each other all the time. Liu Bei, the main character, asks Cao Cao for help killing Lu Bu, and they take him out. Oh, sorry. This is a picture of Liu Bei, right? And they were together. They take him out. He's done. He's dead. They execute him, and it's won by Cao Cao's tactics. That's a big thing. Flood tactics. Cao Cao is a mastermind, and so they're giving back their province where they started at. A very important place for them. But Cao Cao's trying to take over all of China, right? He's making a play for all of China. He's starting north. He's pushing out north. These guys have like a southern territory compared to him, and Liu Bei quickly realizes that he needs to get out of this situation while Cao Cao is preoccupied with other battles. Because if he stays here, he's going to be subjugated by Cao Cao, and he believes that he has a legitimate claim to the throne. The emperor, previous emperor, one of them, they're distantly related. He has a legitimate claim to the emperor throne, and his boys agree. So Liu Bei rises up against Cao Cao, and he gets crushed. Cao Cao is a devious mastermind, gets crushed. And during this time, Guan Yu gets captured by Cao Cao. And this is the big turning point of history. This is a big part of the story. Because when Cao Cao talks to Guan Yu says, I am not loyal to you. I am loyal to Liu Bei. And I will serve you until we find Liu Bei. And then I am leaving. Makes it very clear from day one. So Cao Cao is in desperate need for generals. He really is trying to conquer all of China, and Guan Yu has talent and has proven it time and time again. So he says, okay, Guan Yu, I will give you gifts. I will give you titles. Just go and crush my enemies. Well, during this time, very quickly, they find Liu Bei. But Guan Yu takes his time. He conquers a major enemy for Cao Cao. It's a huge military victory. And after that, he goes to Cao Cao. He gives him back all the money he earned, all the land he was given, all the gifts he was given, all in a nice resignation letter that says, hey buddy, I'm leaving. Everything that he had to gain from Cao Cao, he gave back. As a proof of, hey, I don't need you. I was a prisoner and you forced me to do this. And now I'm leaving, right? So the boys are back. The boys are back again. And at this point here, there's a lot that happens, but really that notion of returning all the gifts and staying loyal to Liu Bei in this very turmoil time is just a testament to Guan Yu's character and why he is so culturally important to them. It took 20 years and many conflict layered, but the warring warlords settled into 3 kingdoms, and 2 of those kingdoms are built off of the work of Cao Cao and Liu Bei, which Guan Yu helped both of them. So it's kind of crazy that when we talk about the 3 kingdoms, Guan Yu has a part in 2 of those kingdoms. But before the kingdoms were actually settled down, a lot of these people died, and Guan Yu died. Guan Yu ultimately dies between a political scheme between Sun Quan, who is the leader of the 3rd kingdom, and Cao Cao. He's just too dangerous. He was fighting, and then they trapped him and captured and killed him. So this was about 20 years after the service of Cao Cao. This is about 20 years after his service to Cao Cao. And then this causes Liu Bei to take a fight he shouldn't, to try to avenge Guan Yu. And the friends die all within a year of each other. But they leave behind this empire that becomes one of the 3 kingdoms. So we see Guan Yu, he dies. Oops, that's sad. But the 3 kingdoms here, if we look here, so this is Cao Cao's empire, taken over by his son. This is the Han Empire, set up by Liu Bei, but never really... it's set up off the work of Liu Bei and the land he conquered, set up by his family and stuff. And then this is the other guy, Sun Quan. So... yeah, this is when you say about the 3 kingdoms, we think about these, right? But leading up to this 3 kingdoms, when it was this chaotic warlord-led thing, Guan Yu had a huge part. Let's talk about some facts about Guan Yu. Just some quick stuff. He was 6'10", according to the Romance of the 3 Kingdoms, and his beard was 1.5 feet long. I mean, I think I have a pretty impressive beard, but man, yeah, he's known for his long beard. He's often showed with green clothes, and red skin's the big thing about him. So you see that here in GodForge, represented very well. Another quick story about Guan Yu I found that I thought was very interesting was it said that he took an arrow to his arm, and the doctor said, hey, your arm is poisoned at the bone. We need to scrape the poison off your bone. And so he's eating with his men with his arm stretched out. And the surgeon is cutting it and scraping his bone while he's eating a feast with his generals. That's how much of a BA this guy is, right? He's absolutely nutty, bro. But in modern day, the reason we talk about Guan Yu over like Liu Bei and whatnot is Guan Yu is now worshipped as a god. Actually, his spirit is said to guide Chinese generals in battle. Certain ones attribute Guan Yu to their success, and he's the god of protection and loyalty. He's a god of war. He is worshipped as a god of war, but don't think the same thing as like Ares. Think the same thing as like he's worshipped as like the art of war kind of war, where like the tactics behind war more than like a brutal conquester. A big thing is the Chinese police force actually is encouraged to pray to Guan Yu. Funny enough, though, the Chinese triads also pray to Guan Yu for loyalty and protection. So there's a conflict of interest. Obviously, that's tough for Guan Yu to figure out, but I'm sure he will. Okay, now we're on the Guan Yu, or the Raven Pyro site for Guan Yu to look at his abilities, see if they make sense. Code Steel makes perfect sense. And then Crescent Slash make perfect sense. And you may say, well, Sage, these are kind of generic names. And you're kind of right. However, Cold Steel is a very Chinese term. When a blade is sharp, they really emphasize the poeticness of it being cold. And so while it is kind of a generic name for like a sword, it makes a lot of sense that the Chinese starter would have this. And Guan Yu had this absolutely massive glaive. It was like 100 pounds at the upper end. So this Crescent Slash with this glaive makes a lot of sense as well. For his ultimate, his weapon is actually called the Green Dragon Crescent Blade. However, the poetic name that's used in a lot of these like colorful language is actually called the Frostfire Blade. So it makes sense, right? It kind of matches with this like Cold Steel and Crescent Slash. It's very starter kind of friendly language, and I'm a huge fan of it. And then ultimately, Relentless Resolve makes sense, right? The man is focused. So as a mortal and a deity, it'd be interesting to see how it's received by the other heroes in GodForge, because he was a man who did great things, but he's also actively worshipped as a kind of like patron saint type thing, I believe. For story beats, I think the story beats are real simple, right? I want you to give me Cao Cao, add him to the game. Give me Liu Bei, add him to the game. Give me Sun Quan, add him to the game. Put Guan Yu back, right? He's gonna be with the boy, and I want a Three Kingdoms run back with heroes flocking to different these three factions, and I want a big old battle royale. Make it some anniversary story update. Just give me a Three Kingdoms run back, because a lot of these guys did not actually see their kingdoms come to fruition. I think Sun Quan was at the beginning, but Cao Cao and Liu Bei did not see like their kingdom. They died beforehand or shortly after. So, and their kingdoms went on for 40-50 years. So it'd be cool to just have this big old historical runback. That covers this episode of Chronicles of Yesteryear. Please like and subscribe, and comment on who you want next. I mean, next is gonna be Lady Shaw. Spoilers. I want to do this. I want to do the starters, but after that, I really don't know where I'm going. So if you guys want to leave a comment, say who you want to see next, I'll definitely do that. Until next time, take care, guys.